if I'm not wearing lashes, then I would just exaggerate the wing a little.
So this is not your full face of glam?
No, this is absolutely not. Hi guys, welcome to our attic. I'm Aditi and this is Diya.
And our makeup regimes are quite different because
I have had formal training in doing my hair and makeup. Like, I was literally sent to an academy to learn. But Diya has very strictly avoided makeup for a large part of her life, and very recently has she, I think it started because of certain acne issues that she had, and maybe a few dark circles here and there.
I prefer whatever makeup looks I do to be as minimal as possible, because I mean, not exactly a no makeup look, but also not like full glam and, you know, full like strong looks. So I like them as natural looking and as minimal as possible. We just did our moisturizer.
I just borrowed Diya's. This is a Plum cream that you've transferred into a...
Yeah, this is like the Plum rice water gel moisturizer thing.
This is also Diya's. I had a lip mask years ago, which I used a few times. Didn't like that little thread-like thing that you would have when you wake up in the morning. So I kind of skipped wearing it altogether, which meant that Diya, at the age of probably 13 or 15,
got access to the Laneige lip mask and
she loved it.
I go to sleep with like a really good layer on, and I wake up with the softest, nicest lips, which is also why we're applying this right now, to give it whatever hydration it can before we do our lipstick, so it looks more
I'll
seamless.
remove it before I apply my lipstick because I like it matte.
Yeah, same. So for my base, I don't like going for a foundation, because foundations, whenever I've tried, no matter how light coverage, like low coverage or whatever, it's been really cakey on me and I never end up liking the finished look. So I use this BB cream to give me like an even finish and just a few drops here and there. I also don't like using brushes because I'm not really good at handling them, and I always have some patchiness going on. There's always some streaks for the brush. So for me, fingers work the best when I rub this in, and it gives me a pretty good coverage from my requirements.
For me, my skin base color for whenever I'm in doubt is this Garnier, not color, the formula when I'm in doubt is this Garnier. It's actually an eye roll-on. It's a anti-dark circle eye roll-on, and I discovered it about 10 years ago, and I'm still quite hooked to it. Simply because it's just so thin that it gives you a finish that looks barely like any makeup, while also giving you some basic smoothing at places where you want it.
What's interesting is that the exact same Garnier roll-on that she's talking about, that she's kind of using as a base, is what I use for my under eye concealer.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very
So we
watery,
both have.
liquidy. Yeah, we both have it. So it's a very lightweight formulation. So it's not thick, it's not cakey, doesn't crease either, and it still gives coverage. For me, I also don't like to do color corrector because it can sometimes look really weird.
It's also possible that you don't know how to layer
That is
corrector
true. That
properly.
is true. But also, like, I don't know it. But even when I have achieved like a good color correction thingy, it's always given me creasing later on. It always ends up looking really thick and cakey.
I think you're a lot more prone to creasing than I am.
Yeah, 100%.
Normal days, if I'm going to the office, then I would just do what I did until now, and maybe just put on some mascara and lipstick and then go ahead. This is not supposed to be a no makeup look. I'm using a foundation. This one is Infallible L'Oreal. This is the first time, one of the first few times that I'm trying this one, and I've been till date I keep experimenting with Drugstore foundations.
Yeah, so for me, now that I have like an even skin tone situation going on, I still have all of these acne scars. So I like to cover them with this. I frankly don't know which brand this is because it's literally just
this is Kryolan Derma something.
So this is again stolen from Aditi, and I like to go in with a brush and just pat over the spots, and then later I blend them with like a beauty blender.
In my case, what I would do is I would just take one drop of the foundation, whichever foundation it is. Take this brush. This used to be a full length brush, but this is my travel kit. We're both at our parents' house, by the way, so this is our travel stuff. My vanity has a lot more makeup back home, but I try to avoid traveling with it because then I'm scared that things will break and like that's more precious makeup for me, so I travel with slightly more dupey versions of them. This brush is one of those, like it fell off, and then I just figured that it occupies such little space and still does a great job. So that's how I travel. What I would do is I would just dab this on that drop and spread it around my hand, and then with whatever's on the brush I would just sort of buff it around. Again, the goal is not to have a lot of coverage, but to just smoothen things. This is another thing that I've been traveling with. It's actually a brush that I got off Amazon, which has this little storage spot for powder. And then I just sort of go over this. So loose powder can be really messy, and a brush like this really helps.
Yeah, so she likes using loose powder. I like using like a setting, like whatever. What powder do you call this?
A compact. It's a basic.
Yeah, like
compact.
I use a compact, and as you can see, it's quite well used. I don't know. Loose powders for me have always, like, I probably don't know how to use them, but they've never worked. And this one is really good because I can control just how much coverage I want, how much patting is required, and I don't overdo it with the powder.
So once I've powdered, and also just for reference, it's not like I like loose powder over compact, it's just the flavor of the week, or like I haven't used a certain kind of a product in a while, so I would just reach out for it. This is a blush by Chambord. It's Candy Rose, and like I told you, I don't like traveling with my more luxury makeup kits when I'm sort of hustling around, because then you land and then you realize that even if you had checked your packed your makeup in your hand carry, you still end up with broken palettes. And these dupes that I have found are just so good. Like the quality, like after using this one, once you've got, especially for color products, once you find a good color, it doesn't really like, and if you have a decent blending technique, the formula can't really make much of a difference to your makeup look. I think at Diya's age it matters a lot more. Not Diya's age, but at Diya's level of experience, formulas really do matter, because then you rely a lot on the product doing a better job than your skill.
Yeah. So again, so with my concealer, I'm just patting it with my finger, and also one thing I like to do is bring it up to my eyelid to kind of shape it a little or give it a little bit of dimension, because they're naturally quite dark. So I don't like to contour with a color. I just reverse contour with the concealer.
In my case, I contour with colors, so I would just sort of apply my foundation. I would go over with the blush on, say, here, and a little bit over here, just to sort of bring some flush back. And then I would, this is my favorite, like I have gone over so many of these cans. It's one of those early discoveries of mine from back in those 2015 onwards days, and I am still quite faithful to this product. I think now I still have better versions. I usually use the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm palette, or Nudegasm, one of these two. But when I'm traveling, this is just nice tiny size, the Hoola Mini. And I'm using a fan brush, but again the brushes change all the time. The reason why I like fan brushes is because when I contour my nose, I like to create an hourglass shape. Like I like to have this base as wide as possible and then shrink it over here, and then maybe, because my bottom of the nose flares out a little, so I would let the bottom tip also flare out a little, otherwise it will look really unnatural if I just try to make a V. So this brush kind of works for that. And then I would use the same contour powder and create a slightly lifted crease, sort of.
Yeah, so to set my concealer, I use this little silicone-ish
I think
puff.
it's latex puff.
Yeah, this latex puff. I like this over like the normal cloth puff, because it kind of like it
presses
sets
on the product.
Yeah, like quite flat. Like I don't need to worry about creasing. I don't see balls. You don't have to worry about brushing them off. It presses right exactly how I need it. What?
You said I don't see balls.
Oh my god.
But I actually am curious, what balls are you talking about?
Sometimes like the powder ends up mixing with the concealer to become this tiny
Oh,
little,
yeah.
you know, and that's so annoying.
Like almost like
Because then you're like
flakes,
picking at
product flakes or something.
Yeah.
I think partially it is also because of the concealer that you're using. Actually, the concealer that you're using is theatre concealer. Like Kryolan is actually
no, but
a really
Kryolan
good
I don't
brand.
use for my under eyes. I use Kryolan for my spots because it's high coverage.
So what do you use for the under eyes?
The same Garnier one that you were using.
Oh, that's not even a concealer actually, but that's
yeah, but
good.
it works really well as a concealer for me. Why are you so far along?
What do you mean?
Like I'm
actually quite slow today.
I'm just finished with my base.
I'm creating depth by adding shadows through my dark color and trying to sort of bring out everything else that I want slightly more forward with my almost really bright concealer.
In my case, I'm not good at contouring at all, so I just go with the flow. I'm using this K-Beauty Contour and Highlight Pro Palette in the shade Contour Genius. Yeah, I like to mix the first two colors and just wing it. Like, I look in the mirror and I just kind of start shaping according to what I think is giving me the best shape that I want. And I sometimes get a double chin, which I would like to avoid and like hide as much as possible. So I like to contour a little, not below, but on the line. That helps.
And I am going over with my highlighter. Now this is a highlighter that I had left at my parents' house. This is Wet n Wild. I don't even, like, I've lost the lid, so I don't even know what color this is, but it's sort of, I don't know if you can see this, it's a little champagne-y, and I kind of go over in almost like the C shape over here, trying to keep it as high as possible, and then a little bit over here. I don't want to highlight my eyebrow as much as almost like this wider part of my eyebrow, like the widest end of my eyebrow, and then a little bit over here and just a little bit over here. Not doing that highlighted nose effect, and just repeat it on the other side. I'll also, sorry, one second, I'll also just go over with the same highlighter on my lids. Yeah, now go ahead.
So for blush, I like to use the K-Beauty one in the shade Soft Nude. It's their matte blush. Why I really like this is because it's also really buildable, and I can also blend it with my fingers sometimes when I don't. So with a brush, it gives you a slightly softer finish, so you can build it up as much as you want. This is the kind of blush that I do like, contrary to the ones who give you really strong pigment from the get-go, because I don't have the skills yet to be able to know, okay, what's the exact shape I want. I don't have the muscle memory to be like, oh yeah, I have to do it that way. I just go according to what is looking okay. So like after every brush stroke, I will look at myself and make sure that the placement is not making my features look worse, but better.
And I just removed my lip balm, and I'm now going to be overlining my lips. Now again, depending on what kind of a day this is, like today I don't even want to use my eyeshadows. Like I could just leave my eyes like this, apply mascara and move on. But on some days when I'm short on time, I would use a lipstick like this, which also can function like a lip liner. So I'm just, 2 strokes and done.
Can you stop? Can you stop?
But
also,
then,
a blush difference that I've noticed is that she likes to kind of go as up on the cheekbone and bring it up. I do that too sometimes, but mostly I prefer having it more the apple of my cheeks and more like soft girl blushy look.
for this step, I'll have to lean in a little. So I'm trying to do the TikTok method, which is you try to overline here and then you try to underline here. So a slight difference though is that the TikTok method tells you to make 2 peaks. I try to just make a horizontal line.
What TikTok method are you talking about?
I'll do it on you and show you.
No.
Not today.
Okay. So it's a very subtle blush. I don't even know if it's showing up on camera, to be honest. But very
I can
subtle.
see it in person.
Yeah, so like again, like everything I like to keep as subtle as possible.
So Diya and I live in different cities, which means that as our makeup upgrades and we do more, we might have to shoot it separately and stitch it in the final edit. Wow, I wanted to do the TikTok method and I ended up overlining my entire lip line. That's not something you want to do.
So you're gonna rectify it?
I mean, the mirror was too far away. Yeah, I think I should rectify it.
So for highlighter, I'm actually just using an eyeshadow from this Estee Lauder Pure Color Envy eyeshadow palette. I'm going in with a pink highlighter.
Oh, that palette looks familiar.
Yeah, it's yours.
Can I use it for this look?
Yeah, I stole it ages ago, but so yeah, so I am going in with this pink shade, which is very similar to the color of my blush, but also has like a little bit of shimmer in it. Also, it's a very subtle highlighter, which I like, so I'm just gonna, yeah, over here go and then
For lipstick, I've used Charlotte Tilbury Supermodel. It's just that color that I really like. Very my lips, but better on me. So, while overlining, I think I messed up my lip line a little. The mirror is way too far ahead. So, I'm just taking a little bit of this roll on, under eye roll on yet again, and just going over these lines and cleaning them up.
okay. So for my eye look, I actually go in with this K-Beauty Illuminating Highlighter Copper Shine. And I just, like, it's this shade. I just dab a little bit on my brush. And I just, like, gently go through it. And it gives me a little bit of a, like, I don't know, like, it just uplifts the eye look without it looking like I've done, like, a complicated eyeshadow routine. Especially because I can't even do one. Please don't blind yourself.
Curling my lashes and I can't see.
If it's a more formal event that I'm going for and I wanna, you know, have some more stuff going on, then I just go for a lighter shimmer from the eyeshadow palette and then go in the inner corners of my eye and then just kind of blend it out a little.
I have been using a mascara primer lately. The reason I started using it was because ever since I stopped wearing false lashes or getting lash extensions, I would just keep coating my eyes with mascara till I get that really long lash, very similar to an extension. When you keep doing that, it gets really messy, and a white primer lets you layer a lot of product, and even if you get it all over your lid, it's okay because it's just so easy to clean it up. And also when you're removing it, it's again less of black ink that you're moving around your face.
I'll just remove the lip mask. I'll be going in with the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Petal. Before that, I'll be lining my lips with this one from Swiss Beauty. It's in the shade Choco Nude. They have some really good lip liners and they're pretty cheap as well, so quite affordable for scholars.
What brand?
Swiss Beauty. Ooh, it's pinky.
Now that I have done my mascara both on the upper and lower lashes, I'm gonna take a Q-tip and just clean all the messy little corners.
So whenever I do an eyeliner, I always kind of do a wing that is obvious. Oh my god, this is gonna be hard.
Why don't you use this? Oh, it looks nice though. Why don't you use this?
Of course I messed up. I can't hold it. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'll deal with it. And then, so I like to go with one line and then map the other one. To make sure they're somewhat similar. They're not, but somewhat. And then I just bring it. So I don't like to go from the middle of my eye. I like to go from like the corner. So I like to like keep my eye open and just track what I'm doing.
So I avoid eyebrow powders, pencils, or anything of that sort because, as you can see, the Arya girls just have very thick eyebrows. In fact, my struggle is that my eyebrow hair
Oh my god, going threading is the
so
biggest
painful.
nightmare.
Diya avoids it even today.
I have like it's such thick hair and they keep going at it and I'm like, god.
I'm also going to do a wink liner. You can start with a powder liner and like an angled brush like this, and I'm just going to use that to sort of mark where I'm going to be using my final, like applying my final eyeliner. Because you notice how whatever is your natural eye shape, your lashes end somewhere, but even after your eye has ended, there's your skin which has almost like an imaginary cut. Like imagine if your eyes had stitches. So like in your case, that goes all the way down over here. It goes down here. I'm not going to touch it. In my case, again, it sort of goes down over here. So you want to sort of first take a line down and slightly above that little crease, but you want to fill that crease. And then when you have sort of drooped it out to its maximum, then you want to take, you know how your lower lid is also sort of flowing slightly upwards. If you had that kind of an eye, then you would want to sort of, wherever you brought your upper lid down, you want to just now match the lower lid and bring that thing up. And now you have a wing which almost follows your natural eye.
Yeah, got it.
And now if you have hooded eyes, which a lot of people do, like in my case it's not as hooded, it's still hooded because if you lift your lid, like you know, I have deep sockets, and say if I had gained more weight, then this lid would just completely cover my eye. So I do tend to have hooded eyes. If you have hooded eyes, you can also sort of go over this portion. I mean, I guess that's a separate video, but like this skill sort of works with partially hooded eyes as well.
Yeah, so in my case, for my eyeliner, just to reiterate, I go with one line from the corner of my eye here, another here, just to make sure that both of them are angled the same way, because if one is like this and one is the other, it doesn't look good. Then I start from like, I kind of start from the middle, but not really, a little more towards the edge. And then I just try to connect it with the edge, and then I fill it in. And then I do the same with the other eye while keeping the shape of this eye in mind, and then accordingly I draw the rest. So yeah. Now, contrary to her mascara, I don't like a lot of mascara. I don't like heavy lashes, so I go in with like 1 or 2 strokes at most, and that too very gently. I'm using the Lakme Iconic Curling Mascara. So for me, it's not even about lengthening or definition, it's more like trying to make them stand. So now I feel like I've applied too much, so I get rid of some from my fingers.
I opened my eyeliner upside down.
Oops. Yeah, and then for the lower lashes as well, again, just one very gentle coat.
God, this is so hard.
I just remember the thing that you said yesterday, that my lower lashes are longer than your upper.
Yeah, that's so
Who's
true.
too funny.
That's true.
Yeah, so I have significantly big lashes, so more than a coat or 2 is not needed for me. So I do a very gentle coat. If
now here again, Diya and my philosophy kind of clashes a little, because my philosophy is that get the longest lashes possible.
This is pretty much my go-to makeup routine for everything. Be it a formal event, be it just hanging out. Like, this is my go-to makeup. A few things here and there I wouldn't do. I might not have added the shimmer in my eyes. I would not have done a gloss, maybe just a lip balm that's tinted. And you know, like if it's like, yeah, so sometimes I also replace the gloss with a matte lipstick because I do prefer those.
I think when I started doing like proper event makeup, it used to take me an hour to just sort of,
Oh yeah, I remember.
you know, set things up. Like it used to take a lot of time. And now, as time has gone by, if I'm not recording, I can like really just get it all done in 15 minutes.
So this is not the best, it's nowhere near the best, but it works for me.
For me, this is a step at which I would just stop. This would be probably a more glam version for, say, if I'm doing like I'm meeting friends, but not necessarily going for an event. So if you meet me on a Saturday night out, wait, somebody is really trying to enter the room, so give us a second. Here, the 60th Amazon package that Diya has ordered this week. Let me just open it and see what
No.
What is this?
Okay, so this is gonna be another video, but like I like to oiling your hair is really important if you wanna grow it. But I don't like to use my fingers and they get all oily, and I really hate oily fingers. So the best way to do that is to get one of those scalp massagers.
Bro, you could have just ordered Trichup oil.
It was so bad though, it smells horrible. So I have this one particular oil which is really nice. So I fill up the oil and then it has these nozzles and then I just kind of go and then massage and then go and then massage, and it works perfectly well, guys. So
okay, actually I don't like this. I don't hate this look at all. This wing is more of my let's go out with friends on a Saturday night kind of a wing. Also, if I'm not wearing lashes, then I would just exaggerate the wing a little.
So this is not your full face of glam.
No, this is absolutely not. I'll let Diya sit down for a bit because she's
because in my case, this is it. It does not get any heavier than this. I don't do anything more than this, and as of now, I don't even plan to.
I'll just stop this video over here, and then maybe in the next video, we'll just glam this look up even further. And I'm actually going to use eyeshadow in the next one.
Thank you for watching, guys, and oh, now I have lipstick on my cheek.
And when you smudge it, it'll be blush.
But then it'll be too much blush. Whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching, and
see you later. Bye.